Hello humans and welcome back to SpaceCat with a new episode of Bonkers for the SNES. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit different to what you may be used to from my channel. There is a topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about for quite a while now. This is going to be a rather serious topic for me since I've been struggling with certain things in my life, so I do apologize in advance if this episode might disappoint you in terms of entertainment. So, yeah, sorry. Alright, so here it goes. You've read the title of the video and you can probably guess what it is about. Now, before you go, oh, he's just gonna be all and sad, I'm depressed. No, I'm not gonna tell you this because I want sympathy or, no, in the contrary. Well, not in the contrary, I just don't want to be treated any differently than you have in the past. I want this channel to be a place for people to be happy and a place they can feel they're accepted. But I'm getting ahead of myself now, so let me back up a little. This is stupidly difficult for me to talk about, so I'm just gonna be as straightforward as I possibly can. So, about 4 months ago, I was diagnosed with quote-unquote depression. Now, before you all go into the comment section, and just please wait until you watch the whole episode before you comment. So, yeah, there's that. Alright, so apparently I have depression. Man, that sounds weird. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I genuinely don't feel depressed. So this diagnosis came for me as a surprise. I was just sitting there when he said, well, it's clear to me that this, you're clearly showing signs of depression. So I was just sitting there like, okay. It turns out that I myself was very ignorant when it comes to that topic. I was always under the impression that depression is this thing where people, Where was I? Where people get all sad, melancholic to the point where they get suicidal. So, yes, I'm a fucking idiot in that regard. Life has definitely taught me a valuable lesson about it. So my closest personal experience that I had with depression was about 10 years ago. Yeah, and I'm telling you this so you can understand where I'm coming from, like, in terms of the whole experience thing. I had a very close friend of mine who took his own life, and yes, he had depression. And he never said that he was, even considering suicide or anything at all. Like, he did not even hint at it. The only point where he hinted it at me was when we all went to, we were just a group of people, went to Euro Park. It's like a huge entertainment park with like roller coasters and shit somewhere in Germany. It's kind of like Disneyland, but not. If that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, we were on one of those ring road trains that just go around the entire park, And then we sat there on those carriages, and we were completely alone. And all of a sudden, he just asked me, "Do you think anyone would miss me if I'd be gone? Like all of a sudden?" That was like the only time I think he even hinted it at me. And I blamed myself for a very, very long time that I did not pick up on that. Like, I genuinely did. But, yeah, anyway. Like, it just kind of happened overnight. That was, for me personally, a shock. Night after night, I stayed awake in bed thinking, what could possibly lead someone to the point where she sees no way out. The sheer thought of that, I just can't comprehend. Even nowadays, let me just make one thing clear. I never had any bad thoughts or no. Yeah, I personally love life and I've never had these dark thoughts. So how could I possibly have depression, right? Like, I don't feel sad per se. So yeah, why did I go to the doctor in the first place then? Well, in one word, anxiety. Since I can think back, anxiety was always a thing that I was struggling with. It just kept fueling my insecurities that I had around people. It just made me feel worse and worse. And it goes all the way back, like 20 years or something. Just being scared, or not scared, that is the wrong word, just having these attacks, these panic attacks, to feel the need to leave the room if it was very crowded. It just seems like a coping mechanism that just something in your brain says, no, you do not want to be here. That is not a thing you want. You need to get out. So, yeah, I just more or less learned how to deal with it over the past 20 years or so. So this whole anxiety thing is just kind of creeped in more and more as it went on, to the point where I did not feel like there was something wrong with me. Like, right? It was a part of me that was just always there. So why would that be wrong? So I did not question that, and for a very, very long time. How does this depression manifest itself with me? Like, how did it show? Like I said, it creeped in over the years. It started with small, stupid things. I was terrified to even go out, no, let me put it this way. You would not, purposely not go buy groceries or avoid going out with people simply for the sheer thought of someone even asking you for the time on the street. That terrified me to the core. Erratic breathing would start kicking in, heart beating. Like, if I'm saying heartbeat, right, I don't mean heartbeat. I'm talking about heartbeat 200 here, right? Or even waking up at 4 a.m. with a massive heartbeat, just from that massive heartbeat in your chest, you wake up about it and you feel like your heart is gonna explode. I genuinely thought I was gonna die. I didn't even had a nightmare. Like, I don't remember. I just woke up and was like, fuck, this is not good. My body is not happy. And my body was just in this constant state of sheer terror for seemingly no reason. And I could not tell you what it was that I was afraid of, which makes the whole thing even worse. With anxiety, people will ask you, what are you afraid of? And my answer would be, I don't know. Like, it sounds stupid, it sounds pathetic, it sounds irrational, like right? Well, this is exactly how I felt. The cycle of anxiety is one of the worst things about it. It is a spiral that just keeps going on and on until eventually it just gets out of control. So people like you might be saying, well, that's just stupid, just stop doing it, you know? Problem solved. Nothing you say makes any fucking sense whatsoever. And you know what? You're absolutely 100% right, and that's just one part of anxiety that fuels it on, that fuels it on even further. The lack of understanding the reasoning behind those feelings, it's not something relatable because it does not exist. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's destructive, vicious, and it just spins out of control. Like, I like to think of myself as a rational person, right? So having to deal with something that I could personally not explain, trying to wrap my head around it, the more I tried, the more self-aware I became of this issue, the worse it actually got. It's like, holy shit, I'm so pathetic, so fucking stupid. Like, how can I even, be like that? And then it is really, really messed up. It just starts fucking with you, with the people that you love, with work, with everything. It just fucks with you on all levels. So I couldn't take it anymore, and I went to see someone about it. I'm honestly glad that I finally did. I'm making this video now to tell you guys how it affected me, how it affects me, in the hope that it would not only help me, but also could be useful to anyone out there watching this. I mean, anyone who can relate to those things that I said in this video, if there is only one person it can help with this video, then I feel like it's worth it. This whole thing coming out just clean and saying how things are with me, then it's definitely worth it. I want you to know that you're not alone. You should never feel embarrassed for who you are. You should never be ashamed for something you do not have control over. Wherever it's a mental illness, skin color, sexual preference, don't let anyone fucking make you feel guilty or embarrassed for something you have no control over. My whole point is that anxiety and depression, is more common than you might think. If you have been suffering in silence, if you have been struggling with similar experiences, you can even remotely relate to what I said in this video, then please go and see a doctor about it. I'm being really serious about it. Like, I can understand, trust me, I can relate that you do not want to go and see someone about it, but let me just tell you this. No one is going to blame you for anything. I know that for a fact about myself, my experiences. I know it from people and friends, you know, that I have over Twitter, that I met in person who suffer from the same issues. I found it out by just simply talking to them and being open about it. And I think that was something that helped me personally to make that decision to go and see someone. Like, seeing how anxiety and depression is caused by your body, or better said, your brain not producing the right chemicals at the right time. It is essentially a chemical imbalance is what it is. Just thinking about that made me realize, okay, there is something, this is something I can actually wrap my head around, you know. This is something I can go, okay, this makes sense now, I can work on it. As soon as I spoke to my doctor, he prescribed me with some pills or whatever to balance out these chemicals, and it made me feel better almost instantly. So yeah, I know that this has been one of the most, if not the most serious and open video I've ever done here on YouTube. Just using these videos as some sort of output feels like the right thing to do for me at this point, at least. So this has been on my chest for a very long time, and I've decided to come forward with it as a way of dealing with it, me personally. Not only to, you know, reach out to you guys, but also to maybe help whoever needs it. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I finally got it out there. And yeah, if this video was interesting or helpful to you, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know how you find it down below in the comments. And yeah, maybe share this video on your favorite social media website with people that you think might want to hear this message. And who knows, maybe I'll help someone, or maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, you know the rules, you guys, in the comment section. I mean, be awesome to each other, and I see you in the next episode of SpaceCat. Meow meow!